Day 3 of the Master Suite cabinet project. So Tammy's over here, wave, getting ready to do a video. This is where we slept last night. So one thing I found out was that this hatch right here had a big square right here where my head was last night with the near full moon. Well, it wasn't really a full moon, but it was pretty bright for like hours. I was like, I thought the moon would move, but it took a long time. So what's going on with your stuff?
Well, we're in real time, which means we have to finish or wrap up or do something with the project that Todd's currently working on for me to finish a video for you to watch tomorrow. Like,
Except your computer isn't working.
my computer's being really slow, and I think I just need to, like, I don't know, clean it up, or I think it's getting full.
Maybe it needs a nap.
No, it had a nap.
Previously on Spoondrifter, we spent 3 years in a boatyard, bringing our 40-year-old hurricane-damaged sailboat back to life. Todd, I, and 4 of our 10 kids knew nothing about boats when we started, but with time, we have repowered, re-rigged, and turned this boat into a home that's nearly ready for the next big adventure. We've spent this summer learning to sail and adding the last essential pieces before we sail to Florida and leave the U.S. for bluer waters.
This is where we are, and it actually has, I think it's gotten to be more of a disaster than less, but every single one of these boards needs to be scribed. Everything has to be cut in the round shape of the boat hull in order to fit in place. And so every board is custom, and it takes a long time to do that. So I have the corner to fill in here, the corner to fill in here. We have a top shelf going across there, top shelf going across here, and the trim before we can paint. So that's my project for today, but I've got to get some good solid construction adhesive for that trim on the front.
Hello, kitty, kitty, kitty. What are you doing? What do you think? Well, how's it coming?
I got a pile of glue. I spend more money on putting glue on a board than on the where it's supposed to go. Dripless is not dripless.
We used both 3/4 and 1/2 inch plywood for the shelves and 3/4 inch pine for the face frame. While it would have been beautiful to use teak, that was not in our budget.
It's still coming out, honey.
That's what it does. Everything it does is to make you frustrated.
There.
We made these top shelves removable, so we have access, easier access to the headliner stuff on deck if we need to. It's still not going to be super easy, but it'll be easier than with them in, for sure.
Yeah, that hole right there would be impossible.
Yeah, it's a deck cleat. So,
We hope it's not leaking.
so do I. Yeah, I hope it's not leaking. I don't think it is.
We talked about whether or not to paint it before he cut it up and put it in here, or paint it after, but I'm super busy. I don't think that, yeah, I decided I would rather paint it after. It might have been a mistake on my part, but it is what it is.
Tried to tell her the easy way. I tried. Where are you going, kitty?
Todd got quite the workout climbing on and off the boat and up and down the companionway stairs for every cut that he needed to make. It was a little crazy.
challenges with nail guns is that sometimes the nails follow a strong piece of grain of wood and they make the nail curve. So this one curved out and got me. Right there. Went straight in, but it curved. Ow. It'll go away after a while. You get used to it when you're a carpenter. Oh, the air-conditioned room.
Funny how it doesn't feel so air-conditioned when you're working in here. All right, so the question I have is...
You want a pair of rubber gloves, or you good?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. How do I do this?
I don't know. The instructions said brush it on.
I'm a little nervous to just go for it. So this is day 4 of doing this, and I just sanded all of this with like 120 grit. That's pretty smooth. This is what we're using.
What?
Right here.
Oh. Thank you.
It's not dark enough. Well, that was pretty easy, but that was not the right color at all. That's not going to work.
Good thing you had a test piece.
Right? Yeah. Go get Dad. This color's not right. This will not work.
It'll be close enough.
I don't think so. Look
What
at...
you gonna do? Go buy another one?
Yeah, it's got to be more brown.
Well, that's the problem is they don't have... They only have that other one that was brown, and you didn't like that, didn't have your red in it, remember? Well, then you got to make a trip into Lowe's is the problem.
We have the Suburban.
Yeah, I don't want this color. That's not right. I can't do it. We could ask them to add some black to this.
I was afraid it was going to be too red and too white.
Well, then why didn't you say so?
You were adamant it needed to have the red in it. I was thinking the brown was probably better, but the brown wasn't necessarily dark.
Well, we're running to Lowe's to get different stain. I'm bringing this with us. I don't know if they can just add a darker color, but we also brought wood and the color it's supposed to be. Anyways, going to Lowe's is not simple. We have to leave the island. So that's either a long drive into Corpus or a long wait for the ferry and ferry ride. Either way, it's about the same distance. Todd chose to do the ferry today. Gone are the days where you could say to the paint guy, hey, I want this a little darker, and they just add a little bit of this and a little bit of that and solve the problem.
If it doesn't have the code for that particular color, they don't know how to make it even close.
Yeah. Like this guy was like, yeah, no. So we are going to do some mixing ourselves. We got one that's a little darker, well, a lot darker, and then we're going to use that red so that, because they just didn't have the right color in a code. So let's see what happens. All right, so how much do you think I should stir this?
Until it's stirred. Looking fantabulous. You have a light spot right here in the corner and a little bit right there on the back side. There you go. Some sort of a glossy coat on there though, still.
No, it's not very glossy.
Woo! It does have a smell though. We might shut this room up tonight. So we're gonna paint inside the cubbies and stain just the space frame.
Yeah. Now I have to get up there.
Ha! Good luck. It's hard even with that stool because it's on a curve. You gotta do it without knocking over the stain, that's the problem. How small of a corner cubby can Tammy fit in?
A much smaller corner since I'm down 30 pounds.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
still not completely convinced that it's going to keep clear.
Everybody has their own opinions. Not quite as shiny as some because of it being water-based, but
So that's why, because it's water-based.
yeah. Yeah, the glossy in the water-based is not quite as glossy as in oil-based.
But the smell was too much.
Smell, well, yeah, and drying time, and you know, sticky tacky for a day, so you won't be able to fill the cubbies for a while. You know, you want everything to dry good before you fill the cubbies up. It'll be much nicer to put our stuff away tomorrow before all the bed goes in. We got to fix the autopilot anyway.
Oh, that's right. We've got to get underneath it here. Because that's the next big project, is we need to replace the wires to the autopilot. We've never hooked it back up since we undid everything and rebuilt the pump and all of that. But we hadn't replaced the wires. So that is a project for next week.
Yep. I need to get over there. All right. On to the bed.
Nope.
Well, there's no easy way to do this, you know? I'll pull this out. Right to the bottom. Lift that to me. Alright. Now, pull the bottom out. Over to you.
Making a large bed on a boat can be a bit challenging. Both this one and our V-berth require a little gymnastics to get things situated.
Is Dad gonna remove all the stuff that's on the thing?
We may or may not get it all done tonight. So I still gotta put all of the stuff in these.
It's harder than your other bed.
You think it's harder? Well, hopefully it's not too hard. But better too hard than too soft as far as I'm concerned. What do you think? Do you like soft mattresses or hard mattresses? Liberty wants it to be softer.
My mattress is too hard.
But we have some foam left from my other mattress that we can put on it. You want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you enjoying it?
Too much. Too much.
Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, the hard work was definitely worth it. I think definitely worth it. I will say this though, if I had been doing this for hourly income, I'd had a very upset owner when he had to pay me the bill at the end, because it sure didn't seem like it moved very fast.
No, it
It's
actually,
just a lot of work in the
yeah,
boat.
it actually ended up taking us, what, 6 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge is we had to do underneath of the bed. And so rather than show you all of that work in this episode, we just thought we would show you, ta-da!
Ta-da!
It's it, it's done.
It's in.
It's in.
The master suite is sweet.
So now these are our ticking off days and ticking off projects till we get out of here.
How many days until we leave? How many projects we have to do in order to leave?
Yep. So
The question is, which one will get done first? Because if this one gets done first, there will be a lot of projects left undone on the boat.
we are headed up to Houston is our first stop.
Galveston.
Yeah, Galveston. So we'll probably be up there for Thanksgiving with family. My mom's got cancer and she's been going through chemo and we're dealing with that and not exactly sure how long we need to stick around in that area. But that's our next stop, and then we will be headed for Florida.
Yep, for warmer waters. Well, I don't know how much warmer they are. They're about the same southness, right?
Yep.
But, you know, anyway, it gets us in the direction we need to go. It pulls the plug from this area, that little umbilical cord of Port Aransas and Corpus Christi.
It's been a good place for us. It's been a good place for us. We are excited that you made it clear to the end of this video, and we want you to know how much we appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And we will see you next week.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.